Wishing you good health and happiness today as well. Before the story begins, please consider subscribing, liking, and turning on notifications. Your support means a lot. If you leave a greeting in the comments, I sincerely hope every good fortune finds its way to you. It was 6:30 in the morning. Mrs. Park Young-ya opened her front door. Darkness still lingered in the hallway. She picked up her shopping basket and slowly descended the stairs. Her knees ached a little, but it was manageable. As she left the apartment complex, cold air touched her face. She inhaled deeply, and her lungs filled. The winter dawn air was always this crisp. Young-ya walked slowly. The supermarket was a 10-minute walk away. These days, she went shopping early. Crowded hours were exhausting. Carts bumped into each other, lines were long, and there were too many voices. Going at dawn was quiet. The aisles were wide, and the staff were kind. She arrived at the supermarket entrance. The automatic doors opened, and warm air rushed out. The lights were bright. Young-ya paused at the entrance. She blew on her hands to warm them. She pulled out a cart. The wheels made a squeaking sound. Young-ya pushed the cart toward the vegetable section. She knew what to buy today. Cabbage, radish, carrots, tofu, eggs. She picked out a cabbage. She pressed it with her hand. It was firm. Young-ya chose a small one and placed it in the cart. She picked a radish too. Not too large. She put the carrots in a plastic bag. Her fingertips were cold. Tying the bag was a bit difficult. Young-ya tied the knot slowly. There was no need to rush. She went to the tofu section. Opening the refrigerator door, cold air poured out. She checked the expiration date. It was a habit. Young-ya selected one with the longest date and put it in the cart. The eggs were last. She held up a carton to the light. There were no broken ones. Young-ya carefully placed it in the corner of the cart. Eggs always required care. The basket was full. Young-ya pushed the cart toward the checkout. There weren't many customers yet. A staff member was organizing the shelves. She stood before the checkout counter. The clerk smiled and began scanning the items. Beep beep, the sounds rang out rhythmically. Young-ya took out her wallet. That'll be 23,500 won. The clerk said. Young-ya handed over her card. The clerk inserted it into the terminal. A moment later, the receipt came out. Young-ya took it and folded it into her wallet. She packed the items into her basket. She placed the eggs on top. The cabbage went on the bottom. Young-ya picked up the basket and headed for the exit. The automatic doors opened again. Cold air touched her face once more. Young-ya walked slowly, carrying the basket. The sky was gradually brightening. The walk back to the apartment. Her steps felt light. She had successfully shopped today too. Once home, she would trim the cabbage and make soup. But then, someone approached quickly from behind. The footsteps grew closer. Young-ya turned her head. A woman in a red knit sweater stood there. Wait a moment, the woman said. Her voice was sharp. Young-ya stopped. The woman took another step forward. I'm from the store. You missed paying for something. Young-ya looked down at her basket. She had paid for everything. She had received a receipt. She raised her head to look at the woman. I paid for everything, Young-ya said quietly. The woman shook her head. Her expression was stiff. No, we need to check. Please come with me. Young-ja's hands trembled. She gripped the basket handle tightly. Something felt wrong, but she had done nothing wrong. I really did pay for everything, Young-ya said again. Her voice was small. The woman didn't listen. She grabbed Young-ja's arm. We just need to check. Let's go quickly. Young-ya was pulled back toward the store. People around them stared. Their gazes burned. Young-ya lowered her head. Her heart was pounding. Her breathing quickened. Her hands trembled more. She didn't know why she was shaking when she had done nothing wrong. They entered the store. The fluorescent lights were blinding. The woman led Young-ya toward the checkout area. Other staff members gathered around. Young-ya stood there, clutching her basket tightly. Somewhere inside her chest, something began to crumble. Very slowly, silently. She didn't know yet that this was only the beginning. She stood before the checkout counter again. The woman in the red knit pointed at Young-ja's basket. Two staff members approached. Customers stood at a distance, watching. There are items here that weren't paid for, the woman said firmly. Young-ya shook her head. She spoke up. I paid for everything. I got a receipt too. The woman laughed mockingly. Then show me the receipt. Young Ya took out her wallet. Her hands trembled. She searched inside. There were several cards. A hospital appointment card, a transit card. The receipt wasn't there. She had definitely put it in. Young Ya opened her wallet again. She searched every corner. It wasn't there. Where did it go? Young Ya muttered. Her hands trembled more. She put down the basket and checked her wallet again. She searched her pockets too. Nothing came out. You don't have it, do you? The woman in the red knit crossed her arms. There was certainty in her voice. Young Ya raised her head. The woman's eyes gleamed coldly. I definitely got it. Where? Young Ja's voice grew smaller. A staff member stepped forward. A young man. Ma'am, if you don't have the receipt, it's difficult to verify. He was polite but firm. Young Ya bit her lip. Her chest felt tight. She had definitely paid. She had swiped her card and received a receipt. You can check my card records. Young Ya said. The clerk nodded. That takes time. Let's first check the items in your basket. The clerk picked up the basket. Cabbage, radish, carrots, tofu, eggs. He took them out one by one and placed them on the counter. He scanned the barcodes. Beep beep sounds rang out. Young Ya stood there. She felt gazes on her back. Customers whispered. Someone took out their phone. Ma'am, did you pay for all of these today? The clerk asked. Young Ya nodded. Yes, I paid for everything. The clerk looked at the computer screen. He tapped the keyboard. He scrolled through the screen. His expression hardened. Ma'am, looking at the records here. The clerk stopped speaking. Young Ya held her breath. Her heart pounded. There's no payment made with your card today. The words froze the air. Young Ja's eyes widened. She couldn't speak. No, I definitely gave my card. I paid. Her voice trembled. The clerk checked the screen again. He shook his head. I'm sorry, but there's no record. The woman in the red knit stepped forward. See? I told you. You were trying to leave without paying. The woman's voice grew louder. People around them moved closer. Young Ya lowered her head. Her face felt hot. Really? The words caught in her throat. The clerk looked uncomfortable. Another staff member approached and whispered. They talked briefly. Ma'am, let's go to the office. We need to verify this there. The young clerk said. Young Ya raised her head. The office. That was where people with problems went. But she had done nothing wrong. I really did pay. Young Ya said again. Her voice was desperate. But no one believed her. The woman in the red knit stood with her arms crossed. The customers shook their heads. Ma'am, if what you're saying is true, you should have the receipt. The clerk said carefully. Young Ya couldn't answer. She had definitely received a receipt. She had put it in her wallet. But now it was gone. She picked up the basket again. It was heavy. Her arms shook. The clerk led the way. Young Ya followed him. They entered the hallway. The fluorescent lights were brighter. Only footsteps echoed. Young Ya walked slowly. The office door came into view. It was a gray metal door. The clerk opened it. Cold air flowed out from inside. Please go in, the clerk said. Young Ya crossed the threshold. Inside, the room was small. There was a desk and 2 chairs. The door closed behind her. Click. Young Ya stopped in place. The strength drained from her hands. The basket touched the floor. Something heavy pressed against her chest. Breathing became difficult. Young Ya closed her eyes. In the darkness, the cashier's face came to mind. She had definitely handed over her card. She had definitely received a receipt. But why? Why didn't anyone believe her? Inside the office, Young Ya sat on a chair. It was a plastic chair. Hard. She placed her hands on her knees. The door opened. The woman in the red knit entered. A male staff member followed her. Let's sort out the situation. The clerk sat at the desk. He took out a pen and spread out paper. The woman in the red knit stood by the door. Her arms were crossed. Ma'am, what's your name? The clerk asked. Park Young Ya. Young Ya answered. Her voice was small. The clerk wrote it down. The pen scratched the paper. What time did you come today? Around 6:30. What did you buy? Cabbage, radish, carrots, tofu, eggs. Young Ya answered each question. The clerk nodded and wrote. The woman in the red knit interrupted. She was trying to leave without paying for those items. The woman's voice was sharp. Young Ya raised her head. She looked at the woman. I paid. Young Ya said. The woman sneered. Then where's the receipt? Why don't you have it? Young Ya couldn't answer. She didn't know. She had definitely received it, but it was gone. She couldn't tell where it went. Ma'am, do you think you dropped the receipt somewhere? The clerk asked carefully. Young Ya shook her head. I don't know. I put it in my wallet. Her voice trembled. The woman in the red knit sighed. Loudly, deliberately audible. Didn't you just not pay from the beginning? This happens a lot with elderly people. Those words pierced her chest. Young Ya bit her lip. Her eyes grew hot. She held back tears. I'm not that kind of person. Young Ya said each word clearly. The woman turned her head. She looked at the clerk. You can check the CCTV. The checkout footage will show. The clerk nodded. I'll check. It'll take some time. The clerk stood up. He left the room. The door closed. Only Young Ya and the woman in the red knit remained. Silence fell. Only the clock's second hand could be heard. Tick, tick, tick. The woman spoke. Ma'am, be honest. You just forgot, right? Young Ya raised her head. No. Oh, come on. It's okay. Mistakes happen. Just admit it. The woman's voice softened, but her eyes were cold. Young Ya looked into those eyes. Something felt off. I didn't make a mistake. Young Ya said again. The woman's expression hardened. The smile disappeared. Really? Then show me proof. Either a receipt or a card payment record. Young Ya couldn't say anything. She had no proof. The receipt was gone, and no card record appeared. There was nothing she could do. The door opened again. The clerk returned. His expression was dark. I checked the CCTV. The clerk stopped speaking. Young Ya held her breath. Her heart pounded. You passed by the checkout counter. But what? The woman in the red knit asked. The footage doesn't show you paying. You just walked past. Those words froze the room. Young Ja's eyes widened. She couldn't speak. That can't be. Her voice shook. The woman in the red knit nodded. See? I told you. You didn't pay from the beginning. The clerk looked at Young Ya with a troubled expression. Ma'am, did you perhaps really forget? Young Ya shook her head. No, I paid. I gave my card and got a receipt. But on the CCTV. I don't know, but I paid. Young Ja's voice grew louder. Her hands trembled. Her knees shook. The woman in the red knit sighed. This is difficult. No proof, and the CCTV shows that. Can't you just admit it? Young Ya looked directly at the woman. Their eyes met. Something flickered in the woman's eyes. An unreadable emotion. In that moment, Young Ya realized, this woman was hiding something. But there was no way to prove it. The clerk stood up. I think we need to contact the police. This isn't something we can handle. Police. That word lodged in Young Ja's ears. The office door opened. Other staff members entered. 3 of them. All looked at Young Ya. Is this her? One clerk asked. The male clerk nodded. Yes. We checked the CCTV, and it seems she left without paying. Young Ya sat in the chair with her head bowed. The staff's gazes burned. Someone clicked their tongue. This happens a lot these days. A female staff member said. Her voice was quiet but audible. Young Ja's hands clenched into fists. Ma'am, we're in a difficult position too. You need to pay for the items. Another clerk said. Young Ya raised her head. I said I paid. I gave my card. How can we believe you when there's no record? The CCTV doesn't show it either. The staff spoke one by one. Young Ya closed her mouth. There was no point in talking. No one believed her. The woman in the red knit uncrossed her arms. I have things to do. How long is this going to take? Her voice was irritated. The male clerk bowed his head. I'm sorry. The police will be here soon. Really? What a waste of time. The woman muttered. She glared at Young Ya once. Then leaned against the door. Time passed. 10 minutes, 20 minutes. The office was stuffy. The air felt heavy. Young Ya sat still. Her hands continued to tremble. Her lips were parched. Her throat hurt. Could I have some water? Young Ya asked carefully. One staff member nodded. He left and returned with water in a paper cup. He handed it to Young Ya. Thank you, Young Ya said. She took a sip of water. Her throat felt a bit better. Her hands still trembled. Sounds came from outside the door. Multiple footsteps. Someone was approaching. The door opened. 2 police officers entered. Both male. They wore uniforms. We received a report and came. One officer said. His voice was blunt. The clerk stood up and greeted them. Yes, thank you. This woman here. The clerk explained the situation. The officer nodded as he listened. He looked at Young Ya. Young Ya lowered her head. Ma'am, do you have identification? The officer asked. Young Ya took out her wallet. She pulled out her resident registration card and handed it over. The officer checked it. Park Young Ya, born in 1953. The officer wrote it down on paper. Ma'am, did you shop here today? Yes. Did you pay? I did. What about the receipt? I got it, but it's lost. Young Ja's voice grew smaller. The officer stopped his pen. He looked at Young Ya. But the CCTV shows you didn't pay. I don't know. I definitely paid. There's no card payment record either. Young Ya couldn't say anything. Only her lips trembled. The officer sighed. Ma'am, be honest. Didn't you just forget? Those words again. Young Ya shook her head. No, I paid. Then you need to show proof. The officer's voice hardened. Young Ya closed her eyes. Tears welled up. She held them back. The woman in the red knit stepped forward. Officer, I'm a witness. I saw this woman trying to leave without paying. The officer looked at the woman. How did you see it? I was near the checkout, and this woman just walked out with the items. It seemed strange, so I followed her. The woman spoke confidently. The officer nodded. He wrote it down again. Young Ya watched the scene. Her chest collapsed. No one believed her. Ma'am, can you pay for the items now? The officer asked. Young Ya nodded. I can pay. Then pay now. And the officer stopped speaking. He looked at Young Ya. This could be classified as attempted theft. We need to file a report. Attempted theft. Those words struck Young Ja's ears. Her hands trembled more. She couldn't breathe. I'm not a thief. Young Ya barely managed to say. Her voice cracked. The officer's expression was blank. For now, we'll file the report and you pay for the items. Young Ya lowered her head. Tears fell. They fell onto her lap. A small stain formed. No one saw it. Police station interrogation room. Young Ya sat at the desk. The chair was cold. Fluorescent lights shone brightly overhead. The police officer sat across from her. He spread out documents. He held a pen. Park Young Ya, we'll begin your statement. The officer's voice echoed. Young Ya nodded. She placed her hands neatly on her lap. What time did you go to the store today? 6:30. Did you go alone? Yes. What did you buy? Cabbage, radish, carrots, tofu, eggs. The officer wrote down each item. The sound of keyboard typing. Young Ya sat quietly. How did you pay? With my card. At which checkout? I don't remember well. I think it was near the entrance. Young Ya said carefully. The officer raised his head. You don't remember? There were several checkouts. Did you receive a receipt? Yes, I did. Where did you put it? In my wallet. You don't have it now, right? No. Young Ja's voice grew smaller and smaller. The officer sighed. He put down his pen. Ma'am, tell me honestly. You didn't pay, did you? No. Young Ya raised her head. Their eyes met. The officer's eyes were sharp. It's not on the CCTV. There's no card record, no receipt, but I paid. How can we believe you without proof? The officer's voice rose. Young Ya bit her lip. She couldn't answer. Ma'am, as people age, they can forget things. If you admit it, this will be easier. The officer said gently, but his eyes gleamed coldly. Young Ya shook her head. I absolutely didn't do that. Then why don't you have the receipt? I don't know. Why doesn't the card record show? I don't know. Why isn't it on the CCTV? I said I don't know. Young Ja's voice burst out. Her hand hit the desk. The officer's eyes widened. Silence fell. Young Ya gasped for breath. Her heart raced. Her hand hurt. Ma'am, calm down. The officer said. Young Ya lowered her head. Tears welled up again. I really paid. Her voice trembled. The officer watched Young Ya for a while. Then he looked at the documents again. Let's finish filing the report. He tapped the keyboard. Tap, tap, tap. Young Ya heard the sound. Her ears felt numb. Time passed. Maybe 30 minutes later? The officer printed the document. He placed it in front of Young Ya. Sign here. Young Ya looked at the document. The letters appeared blurry. Because of tears, she wiped her eyes with her hand. She read the document. Suspect Park Young Ya, on November 21st. 2025 at approximately 0630 at XX Mart did not pay for items. Suspect. That word caught her eye. Young Ya picked up the pen. Her hand trembled. She wrote her name. It came out crooked. That's it. Now go to the store and pay for the items. The officer said. Young Ya stood up. Her legs had no strength. She staggered. Are you all right? The officer asked. Young Ya nodded. She walked slowly toward the door. She went out into the hallway. Cold air touched her face. The fluorescent lights were blinding. In the distance, she saw the woman in the red knit. She sat on a chair looking at her phone. When Young Ya came out, she raised her head. Their eyes met. The woman smiled. Briefly, coldly. Young Ya saw that smile. Her whole body froze. Something was wrong. This woman was hiding something. But Young Ya could do nothing. The officer spoke from behind. Ma'am, let's go. To the store. Young Ya turned her head. She walked slowly down the hallway. One step, one step. Only footsteps echoed. They returned to the store's office. Young Ya, the police, the woman in the red knit, the staff. Everyone gathered. Let's pay for the items. A staff member said. Young Ya took out her wallet. She pulled out her card. Her hands trembled. That's 23,501. Young Ya handed over the card. The clerk inserted it into the terminal. Beep, a sound came. A receipt emerged. Here you go. The clerk handed over the receipt. Young Ya took it. The paper trembled in her hand. She put it in her wallet. You may leave now, the officer said. Young Ya nodded. She picked up her basket. She headed for the door. That's when it happened. Wait a moment. The woman in the red knit's voice called out. Young Ya stopped. She turned around. The woman stepped forward. She looked at the officer. Officer, don't you need to take my statement? The officer nodded. Yes, that's right. We need the witness statement. Then can I do it now? Of course. The officer took out his notepad. The woman uncrossed her arms. She straightened her posture. I was near the checkout. Picking out items. The woman began speaking. Her voice was clear. That's when I saw this woman. She walked past the checkout with her basket without paying. The officer wrote it down. Without paying? Yes. She didn't give her card to the clerk, just walked out. Young Ja's eyes widened. No. Her voice came out. The woman looked at Young Ya. She smiled coldly. Ma'am, I saw it clearly. Don't lie. I paid. Then why don't you have the receipt? That's. Young Ya couldn't continue. The woman looked at the officer again. It seemed strange, so I followed her. Then when she was about to go outside, I called out to her. The officer nodded. What was her reaction then? She was flustered. She seemed startled. The woman said. Young Ja's chest felt tight. She bit her lip. And when I asked for the receipt, she couldn't find it. She was searching through her wallet. The officer wrote in his notepad. The woman sighed. Honestly, at first I thought it was just a mistake. Elderly people can make those mistakes. That's true, but she kept denying it. It seemed strange. The woman's voice lowered. Young Ya clenched her fists. Her nails dug into her palms. I didn't deny it. I really paid, Young Ya said. The woman shook her head. Ma'am, admit it. Other people saw it too, not just me. Who saw it? The checkout clerk saw it, customers saw it. The woman said firmly. The officer looked at the clerk. Is that correct? The clerk looked uncomfortable. Well, it's not on the CCTV. See? The CCTV is proof. The woman crossed her arms. Young Ya felt like she was crumbling. No matter what she said, it was useless. Everyone was on the woman's side. Ma'am, please leave now. Don't waste any more time. The officer said. Young Ya lowered her head. Tears flowed. They fell to the floor. She picked up the basket. It was heavy. Her steps wouldn't move. She opened the door. She went outside. The hallway was empty. The woman's voice came from behind. These days, elderly people seem out of it. Someone laughed. Young Ya didn't stop walking. She wanted to cover her ears. But her hands held the basket. She went outside. The sky was overcast. The wind was cold. Young Ya stopped in place. She took a deep breath. And slowly walked home. 2 days passed. Young Ya stayed at home. She didn't go anywhere. She only looked out the window. The sky remained overcast. It looked like it would rain. The phone rang. Young Ya got up and answered. Hello? Is this Mrs. Park Young Ya? An unfamiliar male voice. Yes, speaking. This is the manager at XX Mart. Do you have time now? Young Ja's heart sank. What is this about? I'd like to meet and talk in person. Can you come to the store? Yes. Young Ya hung up. Her hands trembled. What now? She changed clothes. She looked in the mirror. Her face looked gaunt. She hadn't eaten properly for 2 days. She went outside. She walked to the store. Her steps felt heavy. She arrived at the store entrance. The automatic doors opened. She went inside. She stood before the office. She knocked on the door. A voice came from inside. Come in. She opened the door. The manager sat at the desk. A man in his 40s. Please sit. The manager pointed to a chair. Young Ya sat. She placed her hands on her knees. Why did you call me? Young Ya asked. The manager was silent for a moment. Then he spoke. Ma'am, I wanted to apologize. Young Ja's eyes widened. Excuse me? We were wrong. What you said was correct. The manager bowed his head. Young Ya couldn't speak. Her heart pounded. What do you mean? A witness came forward. The manager said. A witness? Yes. Someone who saw you pay. Young Ya held her breath. The manager continued. Yesterday, a man came to see us. He said he was at the store that day. He said he saw you pay. Really? Young Ja's voice trembled. The manager nodded. Yes. He said he saw you give your card and receive the receipt. Tears welled up. Young Ya covered her mouth with her hand. Tears flowed. Where is that person now? He's outside. He said he wanted to speak to you when you arrived. The manager stood up. He opened the door. A man stood outside. He appeared to be in his late 60s. He wore a gray zip-up jacket. Please come in, the manager said. The man entered. He looked at Young Ya. He bowed his head. Ma'am, I'm sorry for being late. The man said. His voice was low. Young Ya raised her head. My name is Lee Young Ho. I was at the store that day. The man sat in a chair. I saw you pay. I was right behind you. I saw you give your card, the clerk take it, and you receive the receipt. Young Ya wiped her tears. Really? Is it really true? Yes, I'm certain. Young Ho nodded. Then why didn't you say something sooner? The manager asked. Young Ho was silent for a moment. I had urgent business that day and left first. Later, I saw it on the news. About a theft incident at the store. So that's why you came? Yes, I remembered your face. I couldn't just stay silent. Young Ho looked at Young Ya. Ma'am, I'm sorry. I should have come forward sooner. Young Ya shook her head. No, thank you for coming. Her voice trembled. The manager sighed. We need to check the CCTV again. We must have missed something. Yes, please do, Young Ho said. The manager stood up. Please wait a moment. He left the room. Only Young Ya and Young Ho remained. Silence fell. Young Ya spoke. Thank you so much. It's nothing. I only did what was right. Young Ho said quietly. Young Ya lowered her head. Tears flowed again. This time she didn't hold them back. She cried silently. Young Ho sat quietly. Time passed. The door opened. The manager returned. His expression was stiff. I found it, the manager said. What did you find? The receipt. The manager held up a plastic bag. Inside was a crumpled paper. It was a receipt. Where did you find it? Young Ho asked. The manager took out the receipt and placed it on the desk. In the trash can. The trash can? Yes, the trash can next to the checkout. Young Ya looked at the receipt. It had the date and time. November 19, 6:37. The item list was there too. Cabbage, radish, carrots, tofu, eggs. This is my receipt, Young Ya said. Her hands trembled. She picked up the receipt. How did it end up in the trash? That's the problem, the manager said. Ma'am, you said you put the receipt in your wallet, right? Yes, I definitely put it in. Then who threw it away? Silence fell. Young Ho spoke. Let's check the CCTV again. To see how the receipt was thrown away. The manager nodded. I'll do that. One moment. The manager turned on the computer. CCTV footage appeared on the screen. He entered the date, November 19th. He rewound the time. He played from 0630. Young Ya appeared on the screen. Walking toward the checkout, she placed items on the counter and handed over her card. The clerk processed the payment. Look here, ma'am, you're paying, the manager said. The footage continued. The clerk handed over the receipt. Young Ya took it and put it in her wallet. You received the receipt, Young Ho said. The footage continued. Young Ya picked up her basket and headed for the exit. That's when it happened. The woman in the red knit appeared on screen. She followed Young Ya. She approached quickly. That woman, Young Ya said. On screen, the woman called out to Young Ya. Young Ya stopped. The woman said something. Young Ya shook her head. And then, the woman grabbed Young Ja's arm. In that moment, her other hand went toward Young Ja's wallet. There, Young Ho pointed at the screen. The manager paused the video. He played it again. Slowly, the woman's hand went to Young Ja's pocket. She took something out. It was paper. She took the receipt. The manager shouted. The footage continued. The woman pulled Young Ya back into the store. Meanwhile, she threw the receipt in the trash can. That woman. Deliberately, Young Ya muttered. The manager's face hardened. This is clear fabrication. We need to report this to the police. He picked up the phone. He dialed a number. Hello? Is this the police station? I want to report false testimony and evidence tampering. The manager explained the situation. Young Ya sat there. She held the receipt in her hand. The paper trembled in her hand. Young Ho placed his hand on Young Ja's shoulder. It's okay now. A quiet voice. Young Ya nodded. Tears flowed again. The manager hung up. The police will come soon. They'll verify that woman's identity too. Who is that woman? Young Ho asked. The manager checked the computer again. Looking at the card payment records from that day. Her name is Kim Hai-jin. Age 41. Why would she do that? Did she have some grudge against the woman? I don't know. The police will find out. Time passed. About 20 minutes later, the door opened. 2 police officers entered. The same officers from that day. We checked the footage. The officer said, it's clear evidence tampering. We confirmed Kim Hai-jin's contact information. We'll dispatch immediately. Ma'am, we're sorry. The officer bowed to Young Ya. We didn't verify properly. Young Ya shook her head. It's okay. No. Considering what you went through. We're truly sorry. The officer's voice was serious. Young Ya wiped her tears. Is it resolved now? Yes. You did nothing wrong. You're actually the victim. The officer said. We'll rewrite the report. Kim Hai-jin will be charged with false testimony and false accusation. Young Ya took a deep breath. Her chest felt open. A heavy stone had fallen away. Thank you, Young Ya said. The officer bowed again. We only did our job. We apologize again. The officers left. The manager looked at Young Ya. Ma'am, we're truly sorry. Our store would like to compensate you. No, it's okay. Young Ya shook her head. Just knowing the truth is enough. The manager looked troubled. Still, it's really okay. I just want to go home now. Young Ya stood up. Young Ho stood up too. I'll escort you. No, I can walk. Still, I should. It's okay. I want to walk alone. Young Ya smiled. It was her first smile. 3 days later, a call came from the police station. Kim Hai-jin had confessed. She wanted to apologize to Young Ya in person. Young Ya went to the police station. She stood before the interrogation room. The door was closed. The officer opened the door. Please come in. Inside, Kim Hai-jin sat. She wasn't wearing the red knit. She wore a gray hoodie. Her face looked gaunt. Young Ya sat across from her. A desk separated them. The officer stood beside them. Ma'am is here. Please say what you want to say. The officer said to Hai-jin. Hai-jin kept her head bowed. Silence fell for a while. I'm sorry. Hai-jin's voice was small. Young Ya sat quietly. I was wrong. Hai-jin raised her head. Her eyes were red and swollen. She must have been crying. Why did you do it? Young Ya asked quietly. Hai-jin bit her lip. That day, I stole something. What? Chocolate. I put one in my pocket. Without paying. Hai-jin's voice trembled. I thought you saw me. Your eyes looked in my direction. Young Ya recalled the memory. She thought she had seen someone near the checkout that day. But she wasn't sure. So I got scared. That you would report me. Hai-jin lowered her head. So I tried to make you the culprit first. I took the receipt from your wallet and threw it away. Then you would be the culprit and I'd be the witness. I thought I could cover up my mistake. Tears fell from Hai-jin's eyes. I'm truly sorry. I think I went crazy. Young Ya looked at Hai-jin. She was a young woman. Early 40s. Her face was full of fatigue. Why did you steal the chocolate? Young Ya asked. Hai Jin wiped her tears. I had no money. Her voice trembled. My husband died in an accident a year ago. There was no insurance. Only debt remained. Hai Jin took a breath. I have 2 children, middle school and elementary school. I have to feed them, but I have no money. I'm working, but the salary is small. That day, my child asked for chocolate. But I only had 1,000 won in my wallet. So, Hai Jin lowered her head. So I stole it. It was my first time. Really the first time. Tears fell to the floor. Young Ja's chest ached. She pitied Hai Jin's situation. But that didn't mean she could forgive. Still, making me the culprit was wrong. Young Ya said. Her voice was firm. I've had a hard life too. My husband died young, I raised a child alone. You're not the only one struggling. Hai Jin raised her head. But I didn't live that way. I didn't live by hurting others. Young Ja's eyes sharpened. I know how hard you have it. But that can't be an excuse. Hai Jin couldn't say anything. She just kept her head down and cried. Young Ya stood up. I'm worried about your children. What will they become if their mother does things like this? Hai Jin's body trembled. Think about it. What you'll say to your children. Young Ya headed for the door. Ma'am. Hai Jin's voice came. Young Ya stopped. She didn't turn around. I'm truly sorry. Please forgive me. Hai Jin sobbed. Young Ya stood there for a while. Then she said quietly, forgiveness takes time. She opened the door and left. She stood in the hallway. She took a deep breath. Her chest felt tight. She was angry, sad, it was complicated. The officer followed her out. Ma'am, are you all right? Yes, I'm fine. Kim Hai Jin will be charged with false accusation. She'll likely get a fine or probation. She has children. Please consider that too, Young Ya said. The officer nodded. Of course. We'll take that into account. Young Ya left the police station. Outside was clear. The sunlight was warm. The wind blew. Her hair fluttered. Young Ya closed her eyes. It had been a while since she felt at ease. A week passed. Young Ya went to the store again. It was 6:30 in the morning. The automatic doors opened. Warm air brushed past. She pulled out a cart. She went to the vegetable section. She picked out cabbage. She picked radish too. She went to the checkout. The clerk smiled. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you. Young Ya placed her items down. The checkout finished. She received the receipt. She put it in her wallet. Have a safe trip. Thank you. Young Ya picked up her basket. She headed for the exit. The automatic doors opened. Someone stood outside. It was Young Ho. Ma'am. Young Ho approached. Oh, hello. Young Ya greeted him. Are you shopping? Yes. You too, ma'am? Yes. The two stood silently for a moment. Ma'am, would you like to have coffee? Young Ho asked. Young Ya nodded. That sounds nice. They went to a nearby cafe. It was a small cafe. There were no customers yet. They ordered coffee. They sat by the window. How have you been? Young Ho asked. I'm a bit better. I feel at ease now. Young Ya said. That's good. It's thanks to you. Thank you so much. It's nothing. I only did what was right. Young Ho drank his coffee. Silence fell. It was comfortable silence. I had a similar experience. Young Ho said. Young Ya raised her head. A few years ago, I had an unfair situation. I was falsely accused. What kind of situation? At work. A money issue. Something I didn't do was blamed on me. Young Ho's eyes wavered. It was eventually cleared up, but the process was really hard. I see. So when I saw you suffering like that, I couldn't just pass by. Young Ho looked out the window. Young Ya looked at him. He was a kind person. You must have had a hard time too. Yes, but I'm okay now. Young Ho smiled. Ma'am, you'll be okay soon too. Yes, I think so. The two drank their coffee. Outside the window, the sun rose. The sky turned orange. Ma'am, Young Ho said. Yes? Let's have coffee like this sometimes. Together. Should we? Yes. Living alone is lonely too. Young Ya smiled. All right, let's do that. They finished their coffee. They left the cafe. The sunlight was dazzling. Well, I'll be going. Young Ho said goodbye. Yes, take care. You too, ma'am. The two parted. Young Ya walked slowly home. The basket felt light. Her steps felt light too. She arrived at the apartment. She climbed the stairs. Her knees hurt, but it was okay. She opened the front door. She went inside. She took off her shoes. She went to the kitchen. She took items out of the basket. Cabbage, radish, carrots. She put them in the refrigerator. She opened the window. The wind came in. The curtains swayed. Young Ya stood by the window. She looked outside. The apartment complex was visible. People passed by. Children ran around playing. Young Ya smiled. She felt alive. It had been hard, but she had overcome it. The truth had been revealed. And she had met a good person. Her chest felt warm. Young Ya closed her eyes. She took a deep breath. And she muttered, "It's okay. It's okay now." The wind blew. The curtains fluttered. Young Ya stood there for a long time. Sunlight touched her face. It was warm. Some injustices don't disappear even with time. But the truth is always revealed eventually. Just as small courage saves a great life, small conscience reveals great truth. We must believe in each other. And never give up on the truth. Young Ya will live on now. A little stronger. A little warmer. If today's story brought you a bit of comfort, please consider subscribing, liking the video, and turning on notifications, so I can continue sharing heartfelt stories by your side. Wishing you days filled with nothing but happiness. Leave a greeting in the comments. And I'll wish for all good fortune to come your way.